The Curse of Oak Island is a hit reality television show that airs on the History Channel and on its streaming apps. The show is a runaway hit that has lasted well over 11 seasons and has created a multitude of stars and fan-favorite personalities. One of the most beloved stars of this show is Gary Drayton, a humble guy from England. His place on the Oak Island team is as a metal detection expert. As he and his team dig up various interesting and historically significant locations, it mainly falls on him to inspect any soil and dirt for valuables. But we all have this question in mind. How rich is Gary Drayton? How much money does he make per month? What are his income sources? And how is he making from the show, The Curse of Oak Island? Follow along closely to find out how much Gary Drayton is bringing in when all is said and done. One may wonder how a metal detector who is originally from England would end up on a team of Americans dedicated to finding out the history of an island off the coast of Nova Scotia. And the truth is, it was all fate. He was so skilled at his job, one that was actually self-taught, that he found himself being invited into the hunt for the lost pirate treasure on Oak Island. Of course, the treasure is yet to be found. But along the way, there have been many incredible relics and ancient artifacts uncovered. A few of these even being thanks to Gary's expert assistance. A piece of the world's secret history is slowly being chipped away at and brought into the light thanks to his help. Gary Drayton never expected to become the star of a television series, but that's what has ended up becoming by a strange twist of fate. He has often helped the Fellowship of the Dig unearth many of Oak Island's incredible treasures. Gary offers invaluable insight to the show and is featured in Beyond Oak Island as well, given his connection to the greater world of treasure hunters. He has many of his own catchphrases on the show and is behind finding coins, semi-precious gems, and most significantly, a lead cross that's over 600 years old with ties to the Knights Templar, a golden handle that was once part of a ship, and many more significant items. Gary has been featured in over 150 episodes of the show. If he were paid $10,000 per episode, it would mean he could be worth over $1 million from show appearances alone. A certified millionaire. However, given his position as a supporting actor in this series, it is unlikely that his earnings would be as high as some of the more famous co-stars like the Lagena brothers. It is much more likely that he would make around $5,000 for each early appearance on the show, making him at least $125,000 from every season of the show alone, discounting any secret bonuses and deals he may have with the network. With the latest seasons of the show having 25 episodes, one could safely guess he would have made at least $150,000 on the low end of the salary spectrum. If one were to include possible raises given his longtime contributions, as well as his higher profile star, he could be making around $10,000 per episode, giving him a salary of $250,000 for this last season. It is common knowledge that actors get raises the longer they stick with a TV series or network. This would safely put Gary in the millions. And however, this is not his only revenue stream. Gary Drayton has written 2 books, countless treasure hunting guides, and found treasures himself, from rare coins, a ring made of emeralds and Inca gold, and even a Roman perfume bottle. One need only take a look at the Treasure Finds tab on his website to see high-definition pictures of the various pieces of jewels and artifacts he has managed to find throughout his career. But his greatest find to date has to be the $500,000 emerald ring, which dates back centuries and was meant to sit on a queen's finger before it was washed away by the sea and landed at Gary's feet. The historical nature of a lot of his finds only makes them more valuable. His treasure finds are worth at least $1 million when combined. Gary Drayton is a remarkably generous metal detection expert who even offers lessons on the subject on his website, GaryDrayton.com. What Gary is offering to people are lessons on metal detecting and treasure hunting, so they too can participate in a treasure hunt of their own. His lessons are quite comprehensive and 3 hours long. Customers are not required to bring along anything but their brain, and the location is all along the coast of Florida. These lessons are not the cheapest, costing $1,000 for 3 hours, with an extra $500 charge per person. However, this is a small price to pay if you end up finding a piece of treasure that is swept to the shore courtesy of the countless Spanish shipwrecks in the area. Just one customer a week for an entire year could add $52,000 to his total yearly income. Gary Drayton lives online as well, with a YouTube channel that was sure to bring in the AdSense under the name International Man of History, where he posts himself treasure hunting on the beaches of Florida. With an accumulated 64,000 views, he could have made a small sum of money, hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on his CPM. However, it has not been updated in a couple of years, so you'll have to get your advice from his published works, which are for sale online. These days, he has an online merchandise shop. He offers lessons to those in the Florida area, or for those unable to make the trip. He has books for sale online. Among these books, he sells guides of all sorts to give fans and aspiring treasure hunters a push in the right direction. The best thing about his shop is that most items are under $30. A small investment in skills that could change someone's life completely, which is why his most popular item is the book Metal Detecting for Spanish Treasure. However, not everyone has that adventuring spirit. So if someone is just a fan but has no thirst to go on a hunt, a nice t-shirt or hat can be purchased as well. This side business is sure to bring in some money as it costs very little to reproduce, as he owns all the rights to his merch and written works. Gary Drayton knows the value of his knowledge, so he offers to make appearances by booking him through an agency called MN2S. This is a different service than the one he offers on Cameo, which processes personal videos and messages for fans and admirers. A more professional speaking appearance will cost thousands of dollars. On the cheaper side of public speakers, $5,000 would be a good guess as to how much Gary makes per speaking gig. His Cameo page is quite popular, with 540 reviews and a high rating of 4.9, which is nearly a perfect score of 5 stars. Fans can send him a message for just $3 or request a personal video for $150. His Cameo videos are quite long, almost 5 minutes for each one, and they span a wide array of topics that can be requested from him with a delivery waiting time of only 24 hours. If one were to consider the big 25% fee that Cameo takes out of this, Gary would still be left over with a profit of $61,000. This is more money than some make at full-time jobs in an entire year. These videos are extremely popular gifts since they are more personal than even an in-person meet-and-greet experience or book signing. Gary Drayton's treasure hunting empire consists of a ton of different revenue streams, making sure he is always earning money no matter what he is focused on. His largest chunk comes from his television series, where he has been a regular for over 10 years, where he could be making as low as $50,000 to as high as $250,000 a year. Then comes his own website that offers different products and services, netting him upwards of $52,000 a year, if one were to make a conservative guess. We add in the royalties of his books, his public speaking engagements, Cameo messages, and his treasure finds, and we can safely speculate that he has a net worth of $2 to $3 million. Gary Drayton has been able to make a comfortable living for himself and his wife, thanks to his metal detection and treasure hunting skills. His transition into a reality television star was likely a surprise, but he is a man accustomed to good luck by now. What do you think about his courses on metal detecting and treasure hunting? Do you think you could ever be the next great treasure hunter? Thank you for watching and liking this video. Make sure you subscribe and share with a friend to spread some of the gold around. Please leave us a comment below if you have ever found a treasure of your own, or if you have a request for the next video. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates.
Around a wooden structure, but it was difficult to connect them seamlessly. They ingeniously employed the potter's wheel, which originated in ancient Samaria around 3500 BCE. Incredible, right? Nevertheless, there's more. We should talk about glazing. You know, the protective layer that prevents water from permeating clay and causing damage to ceramics. Roman glazing techniques were extraordinarily inventive. They utilized salt, lead, and tin, invented later, to create an impregnable, complex covering. At this point, things begin to become somewhat chaotic. A pottery instructor asserts that adding saline or ocean water to clay causes its surface to bloom. The kiln firing process produces a beautiful salt patina. Can you imagine the ancient Romans using ocean water to produce these beautiful orange peel textured pipes? Mind-blowing. Let's discuss the pottery object discovered by Laird on the island. Laird believes it dates from the first half of the 18th century, but who knows? It could, after all, be a conduit. What is it? Though it does not appear to be a conventional straight pipe. Not every conduit needs to be straight. This component may be included in a conduit system with a radius of 12 to 14 inches. What is this then? Similar to the redware discovered on Oak Island, this object was crafted from clay. It could be a piece of the puzzle. Let us introduce you to the Romans once more. They were skilled at installing pipelines. Instead of using a single large conduit, they created these intricate pipelines comprised of numerous smaller pipes. It enabled them to regulate water flow and pressure adequately. A unique archaeological image of a Roman pipe reveals the sophistication and complexity of their systems. What is the future? Oak Island may have had a comparable system. You are in store for one more astounding realization. Are you still familiar with the Great Quadrilateral? Recently, essentials have begun to appear in unexpected places. Additionally, they were discovered at the Israeli castle of Belvoir. Are you serious? These nails, found throughout Notre Dame, date to the 1160s and were used to secure stones together during construction. Discuss prehistoric engineering techniques. Then, what does this signify for Oak Island? Well, it's all speculation. We are merely investigating the options for fun. But here's a wild idea. What if these materials discovered on Oak Island were used in an architectural marvel? They may have been part of an intricate structure that required precise stone binding. What is the future? Everything fits into the Oak Island arrangement. Let's mention the stone wall they discovered before we conclude. Even though it is not a wall in the traditional sense, it resembles a circle of pebbles in that it is filled with trash. What is this then? Underneath it, charcoal was discovered. There is still a great deal of data to locate and integrate. Subscribing to the channel will provide you with access to more blues from the world of mysteries. As we conclude our investigation of Oak Island's secrets, it is important to note that all hypotheses remain speculative. However, the investigation of potential connections between historic hydraulic systems, Roman engineering, and ancient furnaces adds an exciting dimension of intrigue. As the mission continues, more and more Oak Island mysteries are revealed. We will meet you there in a minute if you click on the video links that appear to find out what discoveries by explorers astonished the entire globe.